the quarry. Judging from our experience, the enemy is extreme.
Of course. And
You're too kind. And before I forget, proving Boss's innocence would also mean clearing. After that incident, Jacques' wife and daughter were taken into the Spina's care. If it might help, you could also pay them a visit.
Aw, thank you so much, Melody.
a new case awaits, my dear partner. I hope we can work together to uncover the truth.
It is settled, then. Please excuse me.
Thank you for arranging everything for us.
Excuse me, miss.
Oh,
Hey, Navia's all quiet. This isn't like her at all.
I'm sorry that I only came to visit after all this time.
If it's about that, there's no need to apologize. After my husband died, Spina di Rosula sent us a lot of mora and support. I understood your guilt and apology.
But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques? I can understand that.
You don't understand at all.
I didn't know how to face you, because I didn't know what I could possibly bring as a consolation gift. I know only the full truth could bring closure to you.
I'm sorry. I appreciate the sentiment, but you don't. On the matter regarding my husband, my daughter and I have more or less.
Would you mind sharing it with me? I really can't believe...
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless times that if he could turn back the clock, he would never go. He had many regrets, and felt that he took the idea of providing for his family too literally. For the longest time, he thought Mora. So when Mr. Callis came to him with a proposal, he accepted it almost immediately. He tried to be as careful as he could, but even
They found out about his...
Papa didn't say that exactly, but Papa did tell me that I should never be ungrateful.
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I realized it was his final farewell to the two of us. I don't know that for sure, but you could say that's... Which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Callis had always taken great care of us, both when he was still alive. Even if he fired the shot that killed my husband, it was likely in self-defense. It is impossible for me to hate him for what he...
But Mama, why is Papa still the Papa always wanted to be a good man, so...
Well, things aren't always as they seem. You still feel like...
Yeah, Papa was a really good...
Then you should hold on to that. If a good man had to do it, regardless of whether he left you a parasol or a sword.
Oh.
Thank you for everything you've told me.
Thank you. I'm very... Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak is really similar.
You really think so? That's the first time...
Are you okay, Navia?
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next. Florent should be nearby, and we should be able to find Thierry and Uncle Marcel in the city.
Greetings, boss. How may I be of assistance today?
I'm sure you've heard about what happened at the Opera House. Someone...
Yeah, I've heard. With something that dramatic, I'm sure journalists will...
It also reminded me, on the day that the incident happened with my father, After my partner here put the dots together for me, I feel like we should try to Can you do me a favor and try to recall what happened that night?
Let me think. Mr. Callus was feeling pretty upbeat. After that, he told us that he wanted to go get some fresh air. So we let him go without thinking much of it. My first reaction was that Mr. Callus's life was in danger. So I grabbed my holster, but when I got there, it was already too late. Mr. Callus was standing over a dead body with a gun in his hands.
So you also remember 2 gunshots then?
Indeed. The guard said that the first shot didn't hit anyone, while the second killed Jacques. But reason being, Mr. Callus had left his gun on the table. I even made sure to confirm that before running to the But according to the guards, that doesn't mean he couldn't have had other guns on his person. About the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned. Do you think there was a third person there who was turned into water?
At least from our perspective, my father had no reason to kill. So the gun he was holding probably belonged to Jacques, or a third person on the scene.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But hold on. If that's what had happened, he didn't even want to face the Oratrice machine, and chose instead to... Did he lose all faith in the courts after seeing someone dissolve right in front of his eyes?
About that, Malouse told me a thing or two. I'll tell you everything once
I understand. Then, and if I may just say one more thing. The whole Callus Many people have laughed at me for still calling him Mr. Callus. Even after so many years But it was Mr. Callus's trust that allowed me to rise through the ranks of Spina di No matter what others might say. He'll always be the man I respect the
Don't worry. I will. You and all our other comrades at the Spina deserve to know the truth as well.
It's just like teachers. Gotta invest a lot before we get started.
Hey, Thierry, it's me.
Oh, now, what brings you here, Miss No-
Oh, so you've got news of that already.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm also a member of the guards, you know.
Are you sure there isn't a little bit of truth in that? Under normal...
I mean, where I work, it's really up to me. Callus did a fantastic job running the town. Building Spina di Rasula from the ground up, it would be next to impossible for me to find a similarly easy but hot... Anyway, enough chit-chat. Are these 2 friends of yours?
Yes. These 2. What happened at the Opera House made us realize...
Ah, I get it. You think there might be more to the case now that we know people can be If you want to go through the original files from your father's case...
That'd be much appreciated. Thank you. Actually, I have another question.
Of course. Without them, I couldn't possibly... Why do you ask? We definitely can't use them to forcefully get more evidence for your...
Well, you see, just recently, we were attacked. So, if you hypothetically wanted to do something against me, all you would need to do...
Then you think too highly of my abilities. If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. You can ask the chef to cook, but if you try to make unreasonable demands, the chef would just think you're out of your mind and ignore you completely. Removing a serial number is also not as easy as you might think. There are a lot of... So I can promise you, those mecha were definitely private units. They're certainly not cheap. So, whoever their owner is must be super rich, powerful...
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Oh, jokes aside, I'd like to wish you all... I'll be staying in the city for a little while, so...
Welcome to Palais Mermonia.
Hello. How may I help you?
I'm here to see Marcel. Could you please let him know?
Sure. I will...
Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as young...
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Marth. I just wanted to talk to you briefly about what happened.
Yes,
Oh, you were at the Opera House.
that's right. I went there with Navia to see the magic show. Who knew it would turn into a... I also witnessed your marvelous sleuthing work. Quite impressive. To beat the Hydro Archon at her own game on her own turf, I can already imagine everyone in Fontaine...
Oh, Paimon doesn't want to become the talk of drunkards.
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as a nation.
Uncle Marcel, you've also noticed that other thing, right?
Yes, I was reminded of your father's case right away. Is that...
Exactly. I still don't have much solid proof, but
Oh, and what...
We were attacked on Araneus by some unnumbered Gardamex.
And there was also an attempt to get me to drink. If not for the vigilance of my partner, I probably wouldn't even be here talking.
Oh, you're giving us too much credit. Wasn't it you who protected...
Alas, it seems things are heating up again. The peace that Callus sought so dearly. But rest assured, Navia, Poisson will always remain a safe haven for you. If you're scared, you can always... If anyone dares to lay their hands on you there, the
Thank you, Uncle Marcel. But I don't... Do you have any new thoughts on my father's case?
About that. Sorry, my age is catching up with me. The confrérie was responsible for that banquet, so I was out and about the whole time making sure things were running smoothly. I didn't even have the time to drink with the guests. Then I heard the sound of a gunshot, and the rest was history.
Oh, it's okay. No need to push yourself. We'll ask around some more. See if there are any valuable clues elsewhere.
Sounds good. Just let me know if you ever need Mora. All my wealth comes from Callus's patronage and support. I'll spend however much it takes to clear his name.
Being skilled at something doesn't make it a hobby.
This can work. I'll just treat them as new samples.
Every scent tells a story.
Being skilled at something doesn't make it a hobby.
We've talked to all 3 suspects, purely based on their conversations with me.